That's entertainment. You know, when you're a great fighter, a great entertainer in general, you want the person to say, when do I see that person again? When's he gonna play again? When's he gonna fight again? You know, you gotta be able, if you can't put in seats, you're gonna get fired. You know.
Right. And I have Crawford winning this fight. Crawford's gonna win this fight doing something that nobody's done to Canelo.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say. And it didn't take me going to camp to know this.
Okay.
So Israel Majimov says that if Terence Crawford bulks up, that's going to be the biggest mistake he can possibly make. And that's going to hinder him from being victorious against Saul Canelo Alvarez.
Mike Tyson shared his perspective after training with Terence Crawford, stressing the importance of remaining calm before such a massive fight against Canelo Alvarez. Tyson explained that while every fighter feels immense pressure on this stage, the true challenge lies in the psychological battle. He believes if Crawford can control his mind, stay composed, and avoid being overwhelmed, he will perform at his peak and make victory appear far more achievable.
You know, fighters, pressure, right? Pressure's not being hit. You know, everybody thinks pressure's like, get on stage. No, pressure's the thought of being hit. And that's how they fall. They thought it's good. I'm not hitting that hard, but they think I hit.
So
It's all psychological.
Are you, when you're walking to the ring, are you noticing anything, or are you so locked in?
I see everything moving. Every person, every girl. It's every...
Dude, your walk-ins would last longer than a fight sometimes.
Do anyone have a napkin on my towels? I'm sweating like a pit in one hole up here.
You sweat.
We will get you one.
You sweat.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You sweating like Charles Barkley at a spelling bee.
Yeah, I'm gonna be sweating pretty hard there too.
Exactly. So, Mike, we all know you hit hard. Who was the first person that when they hit you, you was like, oh, okay, this guy hits pretty hard?
Amir Khan, a seasoned boxer who once shared the ring with Canelo Alvarez, weighed in on potential mega fight between Canelo and Terence Crawford. Khan praised Canelo's greatness and unmatched experience, but also emphasized Crawford's genuine punching power. With Crawford moving up in weight and adjusting impressively, Khan views him as stronger than ever. He noted this won't be a one-sided contest, as both fighters bring world-class skills capable of changing the outcome with a single moment. For Khan, this matchup is far more than just another fight. It's a collision of two extraordinary talents. He admires Canelo's proven dominance across higher divisions, but warns that Crawford's adaptability, sharpness, and mental toughness make this showdown highly unpredictable. In Khan's eyes, the bout promises drama, danger, and the kind of intensity only elite fighters can deliver.
He did that to Canelo after, so to your point, can Crawford do the same? Coming up from 54 and 47, can he, or will that, throw off the catch and shoot? I was gonna catch and shoot,
We're not catching the shoot. We're not catching the shoot.
We're catching it, resetting, and getting out of this range for a minute or two.
My fight with Arrow, I came back to the corner. I had a look on my face, I guess. My dad said, "What's wrong?" I said, "Nothing." Like, classic Sean, nothing. He said, "Sean, tell me what's wrong." I said, "My legs are kind of tight." He said, "Your legs kind of tight." He looked back, looked behind him. He would always do this and look back at the other corner. I don't know why. He looked back at them.
There's a habit problem.
He said, "All right, we're not gonna use our legs so much this round." And I was thinking to myself, like, I need these legs.
I'm not trying to wear these shots.
Yeah. So to your point, when there's a feeling,
when the nervous system goes out,
where does that adjustment take place? Do you trust the adjustment? Do you implement it? So that next round I did settle down a little more. I was
lost around.
Whatever. Hello.
I ain't know around here.
Around here. Pour this water on you. So we got some time until this fight. So we ain't gotta pour it all out at one time. We'll work our way up to this one.
Try to get on big guests that lead up to the fight.
Expect some more very, very big guests, and expect some very, very big things from the Puerto Rico podcast. The week of Crawford versus Canelo versus Crawford takes place here. What is that? September 6th?
13th. I was just gonna say, I've been critical of the fight because I felt like it serves as a foreground to the Ali Act stuff.
Analysts have been quick to point out concerns about Terence Crawford's age and his limited experience at higher weight classes. by the time a potential showdown with Canelo Alvarez happens. Crawford will be 38 years old, an age where natural decline inevitably plays a role, though he moved up to 154 pounds to defeat Israel Madrimov. Many remain unconvinced that one fight proves he can truly handle a veteran like Canelo, who has long dominated at heavier divisions. In boxing, age is not just a number. It impacts speed, reflexes, and recovery, all of which are vital against a relentless, pressure-driven opponent. Experts argue that while Crawford's technical brilliance and ring IQ remain elite, his body may no longer respond with the same sharpness. They see this fight as his ultimate test, demanding not only skill, but also physical resilience and mental.
It's successful. September 13th, Las Vegas, Nevada, Allegiant Stadium, when he takes on another first ballot Hall of Famer, 4-division world champion, 2-time undisputed world champion, and reigning undisputed super middleweight world champion, Mexican superstar boxer Saul Canelo Alvarez, who is 63 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 wins by way of knockout. Terence Crawford had one fight at 154. That was against Israel Madrimov, the WBA junior middleweight world champion, right? And since then, Terence Crawford has moved up now to 168 to challenge Canelo Alvarez, okay? And so prior to that, he spent 5 years at what? Welterweight. So the concern that people have for Terence Crawford, rightfully so, is that Terence Crawford will be 38 years of age 2 weeks after the fight. So he's 37, okay? Terence Crawford has one fight at 154. Prior to that, Terence Crawford has been competing, okay, since 2018 for the last 7 years at 147. Since June of 2018, he's been fighting at 147. His only fight outside of that division in the last 5 to 6 years was his fight against Israel Madrimov at 154, which he won, unanimous decision. I thought he handily won, but people thought that he struggled. Israel Madrimov is now 10 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, 7 wins by way of knockout because he lost his last fight to Mexican superstar, WBC junior middleweight interim champion Virgil Ortiz Jr.
Terence Crawford and his team have repeatedly stressed the importance of smart preparation ahead of a potential clash with Canelo Alvarez. Learning from Jermel Charlo's mistakes, they insist Crawford is a very different fighter. His style, discipline, and ring IQ give him unique advantages. Their strategy focuses on movement, precision, and measured pacing rather than relying on brute strength. The goal is to frustrate Canelo with defense, create openings, and capitalize on sharp counters. Training camp has been intense, featuring rigorous conditioning and sparring sessions specifically designed to simulate Canelo's trademark power and relentless pressure.
Team Crawford just revealed that they're currently working on making sure that the Omaha native doesn't end up like Jermel Charlo this coming September 13th when he faces Canelo Alvarez. Now this report comes from Boxing Scene, wherein it was just revealed by somebody from Crawford's camp that Terence Crawford is, quote, wary of repeating the mistake that former 154-pound champion Jermel Charlo made to a new weight limit without consideration of other factors. Boxing Scene further elaborated by saying that Crawford wants to retain his ability to fight with fluidity, maximizing the effectiveness of his power punches from both hands and ability to fight from a southpaw stance. With that said, Crawford's camp is now on full lockdown from the media or any sort of distraction up until fight week. Now, it's definitely worth considering that while it's...
Analysts have highlighted the natural risks of moving up in weight, noting that speed and agility often decline as boxers gain mass. Terence Crawford, now stepping into heavier divisions, sparked debate after photos surfaced showing him looking noticeably bulkier. While experts caution that images can be misleading due to angles and lighting, the concern remains. Can Crawford maintain the quickness that has long defined his style? Extra muscle may increase power, but often comes at the cost of endurance, flexibility, and overall sharpness.
Kind of simply human. I mean, the more you age and the more weight you gain, of course you're going to be slower. Now, that doesn't mean that he's going to be... that he won't be an elite fighter anymore. No, of course not. When we talk about special fighters like Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, they can handle themselves against anyone on any given night in the worst circumstances possible. That is a fact, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get back into the discussion when it comes to Terence Crawford carrying the 168 division, when it comes to the 168 pound weight. So if you actually think about it, Terence Crawford, how is the man looking right now? I know, yes, I know that we have seen the new pictures of Crawford with him looking absolutely massive, but I actually talked about this in one of my previous videos, ladies and gentlemen, which you can go back and check out. Terence Crawford, don't let these pictures fool you, ladies and gentlemen. Don't let these pictures fool you. Yes, of course Terence Crawford gained weight, but the pictures make it seem like Terence Crawford looks like a heavyweight. Let me tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, the lighting and the pump and the angle, everything plays a part in how you look in pictures. You know what I mean? Like, this is a fact, ladies and gentlemen. I can show you 2 pictures of me taken within 24 hours, and in one picture, my physique looks completely different than the other picture. One picture I can take after having a unbelievable workout, with a nice sweat on, with a nice pump, with some nice lighting, and a nice angle. I would look completely different than when I look right now, or getting out of bed, which I just did.
Respected boxing trainer Abel Sanchez has downplayed Terence Crawford's chances against Canelo Alvarez, calling the matchup closer to a sparring session than a true contest. He argued that Crawford is simply too small to withstand Canelo's size, power, and experience at higher weight classes. Sanchez's view echoes a common belief that Alvarez holds a decisive physical advantage. While he acknowledged Crawford's greatness, Sanchez stressed that skill alone cannot overcome the harsh realities of boxing, where natural size and strength often dictate the outcome.
Quote, it will be a sparring session for Saul Canelo Alvarez. Coach Abel Sanchez dismissed Crawford's chance against Canelo, and it's really because of the weight gain. Renowned Mexican trainer Abel Sanchez has reignited the hype surrounding Canelo Crawford, scheduled September 13th, Las Vegas. Speaking to the ring, Gennady Golovkin, trainer, says, quote, Crawford is a great fighter, but that's why weight divisions exist. Canelo has proven that when he moves up, he faces and beats the best in each category. Neither Bivol could hurt him, nor could my fighter in 2 fights. And he's talking about Golovkin. And even though Canelo and Golovkin fought 3 times, Abel did not train him for the 3rd fight. It was Jonathan Banks. So that's why he said in the 2 fights that he's familiar with, he's saying that Golovkin never really hurt Canelo. The weight jump, the big disadvantage. Crawford, undefeated record. He's 41-0, 31 knockouts. Agreed to move up to 168, blah, blah, blah. And he says, quote, if Crawford had taken 3 or 4 years to gain strength and mass properly, he would have a better chance. But doing it in just over a year is too risky. He'll be slower, and Canelo will dictate the pace. Now, this is a recent picture of Crawford, who definitely looks in shape. And, you know, that's what we come to expect from a guy like Crawford.
Chris Algieri offers a contrasting view, questioning the hype surrounding the potential Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford showdown. While many fans and promoters hail it as one of boxing's greatest matchups, Algieri disagrees. He admits it's an exciting fight, but argues it falls short of the sport's historic clashes between evenly matched fighters in their prime. In his eyes, the public may be overstating the drama, as Crawford is venturing into unfamiliar weight territory against a champion already proven at higher division.
I love it, because I have a lot of casuals who go to me like, man, I can't wait for this fight. This is the best matchup that could be made. And I'm like, no, it's not. Certainly not. Definitely not. Definitely not the best fight that can be made right now. I can think of a dozen fights that I would rather see, and a lot of them include Inoue against a bunch of different guys that I would rather see over this fight. But casual fans don't care that much about 122-pound guys who fight across the world in Japan. They care about big names and characters. But at the end of the day, when you look at this on paper, Crawford's 38, Canelo's 35. Neither looked very impressive in their last fight. They're still 3 weight classes apart. That has not changed, because, and Crawford hasn't fought in a year plus. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of poo-pooing of this on paper. So I'm glad somebody said it. So thank
This
you.
guy, he
our
didn't say his
listener.
name.
Yeah, I like this guy. He came out there and just said his piece and left.
That's the type of guy that definitely calls in the WFAN here in New York. He's like, we need Boone fired. The Yankees suck. I don't look forward to anything. But,
What's up with that bullpen?
Yeah,
All right, I'm out of here.
I'm out. I'll hang up and listen. But yes, like you said, there are a bunch of fights you'd rather see. There are a bunch of fights I'd rather see both these guys in rather than the one we're getting. Like I'd rather see.
That's a great way to put it too.
Yeah, Boots versus Crawford. I'd rather see Canelo versus Benavidez, Canelo versus Bivol, Canelo versus anyone at 168 of these top 5 there.
What about Virgil and Crawford? I like that fight. That got mentioned at one point.
Absolutely. I mean,
Great
but
fight.
this is how boxing works. We'll all be excited on September 13th because it is a big event. We've talked about this numerous times on the show. We need big events, at least 1 or 2 of them a year, to stay relevant as a sport. It's on Netflix. We're all going to be excited that week heading into it. Maybe even that guy.
Hey, Dan and Chris. Love the show. This is Nero calling from Hollywood. I was wondering, with so many people taking Bud Crawford to win, I think at one point it felt like a hot take, and now it's becoming sort of a standard take. I hope this isn't too much of an abstract question, but can you think of another time where someone chose what seemed to be a hot take and then become the regular take? And what was the result of that fight? Personally, I think it's a bridge too far for Bud Crawford, and I think people are underestimating Canelo, but who knows?
Boxing analyst Showbiz the Adult draws attention to the stark contrast in the quality of opposition faced by Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. He argues that none of Crawford's past opponents could realistically compete with the caliber of fighters Canelo has regularly battled. This highlights the clear difference in resumes. Canelo has consistently taken on and often defeated champions across multiple weight divisions, building a career against elite-level competition. Crawford, despite maintaining an undefeated record, has yet to face the same level of established threats. Critics of Canelo often claim he avoids the toughest challenges, cherry-picking opponents he can beat. However, supporters counter that every fighter Alvarez has faced has been highly respected, with many being champions themselves. Viewed logically, Canelo's career path has been far more demanding. His resume is filled with elite names across divisions, whereas Crawford's spotless record lacks opponents of comparable stature and experience.
Name the fighters Crawford fought who would beat Triple G. That Smith that Crawford fought, that Dale Brooks that Crawford fought, that Sean Porter that Crawford fought, would any of them beat Callum Smith at 168? I'm not sure how many fighters Crawford fought would beat the Miguel Cotto that Canelo fought. This is what I'm trying to say. When it comes to skill, experience has a lot to do with it. Case in point, you get an Austin Trout, you get a Caleb Plant, you get a Lara, you get a Floyd Mayweather, you get a Bivol. Just those 5, when it comes to experience, gives him the right experience that when he fights Crawford, he's not like, I don't know what this is like. There's not one fighter Crawford fought that would give him the experience against Canelo.
Training footage and reports showcase Terence Crawford's relentless preparation for the looming challenge. His regimen features strength work, intense sparring, and conditioning drills designed to sharpen endurance and resilience. Crawford has also incorporated new methods to handle the heavier punches and extended exchanges expected against Canelo Alvarez. Beyond physical readiness, his camp emphasizes mental discipline and composure. Still, the real test lies in handling Canelo's relentless, calculated style. While Crawford's defense and movement remain elite, Canelo has built his reputation on patiently creating openings and punishing mistakes. Against Errol Spence, Crawford dominated with ease, but Spence lacked the size, power, and strategic patience that make Alvarez an entirely different and far more dangerous opponent. Intro 10. Former world champion Kell Brook offers a detailed breakdown of why he favors Canelo Alvarez in a potential showdown with Terence Crawford. While he respects Crawford's dominant win over Errol Spence, Brook emphasizes that Spence is not Canelo. The Mexican star possesses a rare mix of power, experience, and tactical mastery that Crawford has never faced. Canelo has thrived at higher weight classes, consistently proving himself against larger, stronger opponents. Brook acknowledges Crawford's elite technical skill, but argues it won't fully prepare him for Canelo's ring intelligence and physical advantages. He sees this as perhaps the toughest fight of Crawford's career, given Canelo's completeness as a fighter, combining size, strength, and strategy at the highest level.
And that usually breaks them down. So with some fighters, I see is that they think that Canelo is easy work because of the fact that he's flat-footed and he just kind of like, he does basic, I would say. He has basic skills, but he's really good at those basic fundamental skills. He does everything almost like perfect. But yeah, he's flat-footed, but you got to realize that he also has hell of a head movement and body movement. He understands and he's perfected at rolling with the punch thing. He's been rolling with punches like just to take off the steam off the...
That wraps up today's video. Stay tuned for more.